Tell us who you are and tell us what your role is as an MS.
Okay, I'm Joyce Watson, Senedd member for Mid and West Wales, that's 2/3 of Wales. My role is multi. I'm a commissioner in the Senedd, which means we're the executive board, the management board of the Senedd, and my personal responsibility is for equality and also people, which means the staff and making sure the building's accessible, making sure that those people who come to us feel comfortable and their needs are met, whatever those needs might be.
What is the difference between the government and the Senedd?
Okay, all members are elected. The First Minister is what it says, the lead minister, the person that leads the government in Wales, in the Senedd. And they're chosen by members of their political party, usually, members of the Senedd, and that's the whole of the Senedd get a vote to elect the First Minister. One with the greatest votes becomes First Minister. They then choose a cabinet, and that cabinet, they will have areas that they are responsible for, education, maybe the economy, maybe roads, maybe health. So that makes up what is known as the government. The rest then are the Senedd and elected members. From the government you also have people who are from the leading party, you have people who are in government and backbenchers like myself who are not. And what we do, all of us, including the ones of the same party, hold the ministers to account on what they said they were going to do, and we'll do that through committees, and I'm a member of 2 committees, and we'll also do it in the plenary, which is the session where those ministers and the First Minister have to answer the questions before them.
What is the difference between government in Cardiff and Westminster?
Okay. First of all, the electoral system. The government in, I suppose they're both elected the same way. And you get MPs elected to go to Westminster, and you get MSs, members of the Senedd, to go to Cardiff. The principal difference between the two is that the UK government in Westminster, decide our budget. They give us money, and they get it's called a block grant, and from that we then have to decide what we're going to spend it on and whether we've got enough. So that's one of the really big differences. They also decide what we can borrow. They set the limits. So again, that either expands or limits the money we can have to spend on projects, perhaps like the one you're working on even. They are also responsible for policing, and they're responsible for works and pensions. So they set your pensions, they set your allowances, whatever those allowances are, whether it's disability allowance, pensioner credit, all those things. They're done in Westminster. We do all those things that you see day to day, health, social services, because it's done through devolution. So those powers that would have been, before 99, in one place, now are down into the Senedd, except for Foreign Affairs is another one that's not devolved. Those are the big differences between the two, and they have to, of course, engage with each other to get things done.
Yeah. What is the government responsible for?
The government in the Senedd.
Yes.
All the things that are devolved. So we're in farming, fishery, all sort of agriculture, land management, we're social services, health, education, we're involved in skills, apprenticeships. So we've done very well on apprenticeships, we take them very seriously. Local government, we give the money to local government so that they then in turn provide the services that you'll have locally. Roads, not rail, not the railway, that's not devolved, but the trains that go on it. We look after some of those. Buses, the bus network is devolved, but there's a complication there. Only part of it we look after, and we're bringing in a bill for that. The economy, how we spend the money to help grow the economy, to help businesses, give business rate relief, try and give money to businesses, and also all the voluntary sector. So all the voluntary sector, we either fund it or support it in different ways, and we help to set our budget. And hospitals, of course, come under health, so we're responsible for those and many, many other things, but it would take some time for me to keep listing them all. But really, the things you use day to day.
Yeah. So, there is an election in 2 years' time. Can you tell us what the big changes will be?
Okay, and there are big changes. The first big change is the way that people are elected. At the moment there's 60 Senedd members, 40 of them people will be familiar with. It's what they call first past the post. So they put a cross next to the name of the party in the area that they live that want elected. The second part, and that's how I get elected, is the regional member, and there's 20 of those, and there's 5 areas with 4 each of us. Our election is according to the party that you want, so the party votes. Our spread, and it's worked on what they call the D'Hondt system, and I know how it works, having been elected 4 times. That's changing. There won't be any regional members. It will all be voted on the party. So people will put a cross next to the party that they want in, but added to that, you'll have 2 constituencies put together to make 1 constituency. You'll have 6 MSs elected according to the votes. So if I give you an example, if 100,000 people voted for Labour, and that was the highest vote in that area, they get the number 1 place. But once they get it, their vote goes to half, so it now becomes 50,000. If somebody else has got more than 50,000, they will get the 2nd place, and so it goes. But the big difference is voting for the party, 1 vote. Because before, you used to have 2 votes. 1 for the constituency, which was first past the post, and 1 for the regional. There are no regionals, and the constituencies have changed, so you get 1 paper.
Okay, thank you, Joyce. That's all the questions I had. Did you want to share anything else?
I'm delighted to be here today. I've known you for a long time, but when you invited me here, I thought, what a fabulous project. And you gave me the questions beforehand so I could think about giving good answers. and I thank you for that. The interview's been well constructed, and I really look forward to coming back and sharing things as and when you think that's appropriate. I thank you for your courtesy and all the information that you've given, but I think this is a fab project, and the more people we get engaged in listening to what people like me do and to give them a chance of understanding that better, I'm all for it. Thank you.
Thank you.